Do you have a to-do list that energizes you? Do you have a to-do list that fills you with excitement when you look at it because you know this week I am going to get things done? Or do you have a to-do list when you look at it, it fills you with dread and fear and you think, how am I going to get all of this done? It reminds me of the story of Darren Hardy. Darren Hardy was the editor of the Success magazine, and one time he had an interview with Richard Branson. Now, Richard Branson has 400 companies that he manages. And when he interviewed him, he also discovered Richard Branson has more than 100 lawsuits at any time. And Darren Hardy remembered when he came away from that interview that Richard Branson has this amazing ability to deal with the complex. But if it was him, Darren, he would have sunk. No way he could have dealt with all of that complexity. So then Darren made a conscious decision to focus on only two things for his own primary goals: become an excellent communicator and know how to communicate to high achievers and help them to become successful. And Darren himself eventually became very, very successful just doing that. That gave me a whole new perspective on my own to-do list. I remember when I started out looking into online marketing and I signed up to the 6-figure mentors. Man, you get overwhelmed so quickly with so many great things to do. There are webinars to attend, there are courses to complete, and suddenly you get invited to everyone else's podcast and weekly seminars and whatnot. And I very, very quickly realized that my to-do list was growing and growing and growing to the point where I was becoming paralyzed and not energized. So then I changed my tactic, my strategy. What I do now every week, at the beginning of the week, typically on a Sunday, is I plan my week out. And I think about what are the things that I know that I can complete this week. What is the next things that I need to learn? What is the next skills that I need to develop? What is the next income producing activities that I need to engage in? And then I only focus on that and I say no to everything else. I've realized I don't have to join every webinar. I don't have to do every 90-day challenge, for example. Those things will be there later to do again. And so what I do is I just focus on the few things that I can do really well. And I've realized that there is a lot of freedom and a lot of excitement in simplicity. So what's your to-do list like? If your to-do list paralyzes you and don't energize you, maybe you need to simplify it. Maybe you need to figure out what is the main things that you need to focus on at this time and then get only those things done from your to-do list and park everything else or just scrap it, because it will be there later again. I hope that helps you to think about your to-do list, your goals, and that you will run with it with a lot of excitement and not being paralyzed.